Happy winter, Scarlet Hawk Nation. Here we are getting ready for the winter season, just closing out the fall season. I am Peter Boucher. I am the athletic director for Milford Public Schools and very proud to be so. This is Ashley Desko. She is our head athletic trainer. She's going to be joining us a little bit later for the medical segment and the necessities that we have to put in place to make sure that everybody is safe to participate. So we are going to cover the expectations and the regulations that are necessary for the winter season. And you can sort of view this from the pleasure of your own home and before Monday opens up on December 2nd. So we will get started and show you what we need to be doing here. So again, welcome. Many of you have seen our introductions, right? Our relentless pursuit of excellence. That has been the Milford way for 50, 60, 70 years now. We are just trying to perpetuate and honor that. So we appreciate everybody joining us for the winter season. And we'll talk a little bit about our expectations and what we need to do to make sure that we are representing Milford High School in the Hockomock League. So I say this tongue in cheek, right? We're excited to spend this time with you. This is a mandatory meeting from the state, the MIA, and also Milford and our regulations. And what I wanted to be sure to mention to you is that, you know, we know you're here as a prisoner, a tourist, or explorer, but you got to be here. You got to pay attention, but we're hoping that everybody will be an explorer and get as much as they can out of the presentation. That's our goal. Real quick, take a look at this. I'm not going to mention too much. Milford has been very successful for decades. And again, we're just trying to perpetuate that. And this is, you know, some of the accomplishments from the last year. It's not comprehensive. This is just a quick snapshot of what a lot of our teams have done over the past couple of seasons. So each and every season and each and every team operates under our Milford Athletics Championship expectations. These are our core values. Everybody's familiar with these. We'll talk a little bit more about these in a second. Our expectations for each and every team vary. It really does depend. We put appropriate expectations with our teams, and here are the four. We want every team working to qualify for the tournament, and from there we ramp up the expectations. But we'll talk about that a little bit more throughout the presentation. Here are the teams that we expect to have. Right, we're looking at boys basketball, girls swim, excuse me, boys swim, boys and girls indoor track. We have wrestling. We have winter cheer. We have gymnastics now. We're a co-op with Medway. We now have a boys ice hockey co-op and a girls ice hockey co-op. More information about that. And we also have two unified opportunities, unified bocce and unified strength and conditioning. So there's plenty to do, and there's great opportunities in the winter. So with Stacy Athletics, real quick, we have added, in my 10 or 11 years here, the district and the school committee and the entire community has been phenomenal. I believe we've added 12 fully functioning teams at Stacy Middle School over the last decade. The two that we offer in the winter, we have co-ed wrestling, excuse me, which is coached by Milford High School graduate Grady D'Antonio. And we also have co-ed dance now, which is also coached by Coach Lucchini. She works at Stacy Middle School, so this is a fantastic situation. Those two sports start no later than December 9th. This is our athletic department, right? I'm the very proud athletic director. Lori Pinto is our amazing admin assistant. Ashley Desko is our head athletic trainer. Coach Jose Pinto, who is a graduate and retired teacher, he's our strength and conditioning coach. And Felicia Faulkner, who works at Stacy Middle School, she's our athletic coordinator. She works very closely with me to make sure that those 12 teams are operating and functioning properly. So here's our start dates. Milford High School starts on December 2nd, which means you're going to want to have everything into us before then. Please don't wait till December 1st or December 2nd. We need the two things below. We need you to get on familyid.com and get registered. You can do that in about 15 minutes. And then we need you to send us an updated physical. Ashley is going to talk about that a little bit later. And once again, December 9th, the Stacy Middle School gets rocking with their two sports. And we're going to show you the coaches' email addresses. If you have any questions, you can always email me as well before Monday. So here's what you can expect from us. We know that we expect a lot from our student athletes. We're trying to live up to the legacy and the mythology of Scarlet Hawk Nation in Milford, right? Past 50 or 60 years, we want to make sure that we're doing what we need to do to represent Milford on that level. You also can expect certain things from myself, our staff, the coaches, and everybody involved. And we're going to talk a little bit about those. Again, our core values, right? We're going to dig a little bit deeper into these and make sure that everybody understands what it is we're looking for on a daily basis. And the second you sign up to be a Scarlet Hawk, we expect you to live by these all 12 months, 365 days a year. So it's important that you follow these expectations and really start to live them. So number one, relentless pursuit of excellence, right? I didn't come up with this. This is something that Milford sort of lived and breathed decades ago. All I did was capture it in a couple of catchy verbiage or words, right? This is the attitude and expectation that sets the foundation for everything that we do as coaches, right? As student athletes, competitors wearing the red and white, and also for our fans. We're going to talk a little bit about that too. Clearly, it's very simple. Academics is the foundation. What we say is that if you are going to do your afternoon job, you need to do your day job, and that's making sure that you get good grades and you're representing us everywhere and anywhere, in the hallway, in the cafeteria, certainly in the classroom, making sure that you're paying attention and working hard to get good grades. And then we have you come out in the afternoon and represent us on the fields and the gyms and in the water and everywhere else. It's a mindset, right? It's how you choose to approach practices. It's preparation. It's how you prepare your body and your mind, right? Always looking to practice and play hard and plan to win, right? We talk about that alliteration. We also want to make sure that we are making good choices, right? We're eating breakfast. We're fueling our body properly. We're making good choices about what we don't put in our body. We're making positive choices about getting a certain amount of sleep every night. We'd like to see 8 hours, but the medical experts out there say anywhere from 7 to 9 hours is a good place to be. So it's making good choices about everything. Championship sportsmanship, right? This goes way back. This is how Milford operates. It's on the courts, fields, mats, you name it, any playing surface. We're behaving respectfully. We're conducting ourselves accordingly with our opponents, with the referees, with the opposing coaches, our coaches, the fans, even when folks around us are not making good decisions. Our league typically does a really, really good job of how we treat each other. We see different expectations and behavior when we go non-league. That's okay because we're prepared to deal with that. We're prepared to step up and show people what a professional situation looks like. We expect this of our fans. Our fans are phenomenal. I'm going to talk about that later. It really is championship behavior and championship character. That's what we're looking for. 3, Scarlet Hawk 24/7, 365. This is something that I know the alumni, the town, the community are very, very proud of. And what I say to people really simple is even if you're not wearing the uniform, right, you're wearing the uniform. People recognize you. They know who you are, whether you go on vacation, whether you go out to dinner in another town. People recognize our coaches and our student athletes, and we expect you to act accordingly. It's just really simple, right? We talked about this, practices, wearing the uniform, not having the uniform, traveling to games on the bus, how you get off the bus, how you conduct yourself in the classrooms around the school, in season, out of season. The second you put on a uniform for us and you step into practice, we expect you to conduct yourself professionally and act accordingly. And we're really proud of that lineage, and we're proud to continue that and press forward and make sure that we are representing ourselves that way. So what can you expect from us? Our coaches are some of the best in the country. I think we have some of the best in the nation. We're very, very fortunate. We're going to be professional and prepared for every practice. We're going to practice, plan, and play to win every game. Intent and intensity in every practice, right? We're going to talk about bringing 105%. Can you work a little bit harder than you think your capacity is right now? We talk about that, right? Practice, plan, and play to win every game. We regardless of our record, the Hockomock League is the NFL of high school sports. It doesn't matter if you're 2-10 or 10-2. There's a very close margin in between almost every game, meet, or match, and we expect to go out and give our opponents 110%. It's really important. Our goals, really simple. Every single team should be trying to get into the tournament, right? Make the postseason. If it's appropriate, we'll talk to our kids about trying to win the Hockomock, our division. If it's appropriate, we'll talk about trying to win the entire division in the state. And then if it's appropriate, we'll talk about trying to win the entire state of Massachusetts. And we do have teams, obviously, that are in all of these 4 categories. And that's real life. These are real life skills, right? You go to work every day. You prepare to try and be successful. Maybe you don't feel great that day. Maybe you're not as prepared as you want to be, but you got to give 105%. You got to produce. So that's really, we're working on life skills here. There's lots of regulations. I try to manage all those. The coaches try to manage all those. Most importantly is your academic production. That's number 1.1, right? Quarterly GPA. You got to have 24 quality point credits. You got to pass your classes. You got to work hard. We'd rather have you do a little more than just pass. We'd like you to be in the AB range, but you have to be attending, which is number 2, right? 1.2, daily attendance, being in class, being on time, being present. These things are important. The rest of number 2, I handle all those. That's called making good choices during the day, in the afternoons, evenings, days, and weekends. We handle all of this through what we have you do, signing up on Family ID. And we work from there. Make good choices, and we won't have to worry about any of the things on number 2. That's kind of what we say to our student athletes. Expectations continued, right? And again, I'm going to review. Attend school and work hard academically. That's important. You need to be in practice. One of the things we have to really stress is that this is not, and this is not meant to be a slight to anybody. These are not youth sports. It's not club sports. We have, our varsity teams practice 6 days a week. We're Monday to Friday. Some of our teams practice on Saturday. Some of our teams practice on Sunday. You have one day off on the weekend, typically. You got to be in practice. It's not acceptable to really be scheduling anything and everything and missing practice. If you want to have playing time and you want to stay on the team, then you have to plan for 5 or 6 days a week. It's really important. And speaking of playing time, here's what most of the schools in the country, public schools, right, work on. But here's what we can promise you at Milford High School and Stacy Middle School, right? If you make the freshman team, okay, we try not to make cuts. We work really hard not to make cuts. But if we have to put a freshman, we want to have a freshman team. But if we have a freshman team, you've made the team, you can plan to play 50% of every game, meet or match, right? Pretty equal. We don't count plays. We don't count minutes, but our coaches try to do a really good job making sure that you're getting 50% playing time. It's all about skill and strategy. We're trying to teach you what you need to know cognitively and physically to make it to the JV level and then ultimately make it to the varsity level. So that's what we're looking to do. JV gets a little more real world, real life situation. It's 1/3 to 2/3. If you make the JV team, you can expect to play in 1/3 of the games, meet or matches. And again, we don't count minutes. We don't count plays. We're still working on skill and strategy development. Ultimately, we are trying to prepare you for varsity, which is based on skill and commitment. We don't care about what grade you're in. Freshmen can start. Freshmen can get minutes at the varsity level, as well as sophomore, junior, seniors, right? Seniors don't get special treatment as far as playing time. On senior night, they might, right? We try to start our seniors when we can. And but this is the real world. You're competing for your time to play. And when do you compete? You compete in practice. And what I say to folks that are looking for more playing time is make it so that it is impossible for your coach to not put you in a game, meet or match. Work so hard, hustle, and really commit to what you're doing during practice. Get your rest, come back the next day. Coaches want to win. We all want to win. So we're not going to sit people. We're going to try to play our best players, and we're going to try to play kids that are working hard in practice. We want to reward them for that. So adding to that, questions about playing time. There are levels of this. Coaches, we're trying to teach life skills, right? If you have an issue at school, if you have an issue at a job, you have to confront or go speak to your supervisor. And what we want you to do is the first level about playing time should be between the player and coach. Okay. It should not be at the, right after a game. You're frustrated maybe with your playing time. It should not be at the beginning of a game where you might be a little concerned about the last game. It should be during a practice, and it should look something like this. Hey, coach. At the beginning or the end of the practice. Hey, coach, can I take 10 minutes of your time after practice today? I want to talk about my playing time. I would like to get more playing time, and I'd like you to let me know what I need to do to get on the court, to get on the field, to get in the pool, to get in the meet, match, or game. And the coach, our expectations here, and our coaches do a great job, is 2 things. 1, they're going to tell you what you're really doing well at. And 2, they're going to tell you what they need to see you improve upon to get more playing time. And that's our commitment to our families, and that's our commitment to our student athletes. Boosters Club, I'm going to cover this for them. We have an amazing Boosters Club here. I enjoy spending time with them. I make the meetings as much as I can if we don't have games, meets, or matches in the evenings. They work really, really hard. Okay, they're volunteers that want to help the kids. They are enthusiastic. They support us. They meet once a month on Wednesday nights. They have really, really done a great job. They have honed their skills. The meetings are less than an hour. They're typically 30 to 45 minutes now. They are a charitable nonprofit organization, which is phenomenal. They've done a great job keeping that status. And moving on, they support. They're really here to take care of the things that the district really isn't capable. And that's not much, to be honest with you. There's certain things, components that the district should be taking care of, and we do. We honor that. That comes down to uniforms, busing, equipment. But there's really some really neat and cool things that our student athletes really enjoy, and the boosters come in to contribute to that and advance really what the athletic department is doing. They cover all of our scholarships, all of our awards, which is phenomenal. They support me, excuse me, fighting a cold here, in everything that we do. They're always checking in. What do you need? How can we help you? I do have to tell you, and this might be on the next slide, that the Dick Corbin Award ceremony at the end of the season for seniors is by far, and when I say by far, I mean a Grand Canyon between any other award ceremonies that I've seen. And that goes with college, right? Any of the local colleges that I've seen, they really, really, really honor our seniors and take care of our kids. And that's really important. Here's a picture of some of the cool things that they put together. If you look to the screen here, you take a look at our Iron Hawk pins. What we started, I don't know, about 7 or 8 years ago, we started to recognize our 3-sport athletes, right? And really, really pat them on the back and make a big deal of that. I can tell you there's at least 15 or 16 local schools that have stolen that idea from us. And I'm okay with that, right? The finest form of flattery is thievery. If people are trying to steal what you do, it's because you're doing something really cool. The chairs that they purchased for the gym, right? That helps 3 seasons that's volleyball, right? Wrestling, basketball, all types of activities in the gym, where it's just really, really impressive for them to come in. The screens, the windscreens that they've put up around the district are phenomenal. And this is not meant to be comprehensive. The boosters work really, really hard to take care of our kids. Here's another piece of some of the work that they do. Scarlet Hawk of the Week, right? Show. We try to put that out on Instagram. The kids, if you're one of the hardest working kids that week, we like to award and recognize a guy and a gal each week. And here's some of our coaches and some of our kids from the past couple of years and seasons. I think they really look forward to this, and I know it's one of the coolest things that we get to do each week, and they support that program. If you want to check in with the boosters, please hit them up on Instagram, email, right there, mboosters@milfordma.com, and they are very, very active on Instagram and Facebook, and we are very thankful. And the only way the boosters can continue is if our parents and guardians get involved. We have a liaison to every team. That's one of the things that we've implemented over the last decade, so that each team has a representative on the boosters, and everybody knows what everybody's doing for fundraising and activities, and it's a really, really good system. So we're thankful for all of that help. One of the things I wanted to mention, I've been mentioning this for over a decade now. My going joke is that Milford has adopted me, right? I was born at Milford Hospital, and it took me 40 years to find my way home. And I really appreciate the support that I've been afforded here from the community, the alumni, the staff, student athletes, coaches, everybody everywhere. Milford is just really, it's a unique place. And having worked at 2 other high schools in my career and a college, I have not seen the support and the special types of engagement that the Milford community really offers. It's kids age 1 to 100, and I mean that. I really feel like Milford does a great job. And I wanted to talk about some of the things that we have. We have 2 strength and conditioning situations, right? We have our weight room, we have our fitness center that we opened about a decade with the support of the community. We've got 2 turfs, right? We've got a brand new track that we're really, really proud of. We've got auxiliary rooms. We have a dance and cheer room. We have a wrestling room. A lot of schools don't have anything that I just mentioned. They probably have a weight room, Most of them have a turf. Many of them do not have the ancillary and auxiliary types of situations that we have. We have a pool. We're the only pool in the Hockomock League, right? We have a great set of tennis courts. We've got a new PA system out at the turf and track. Safety nets were just put up thanks to the support of our school committee and our community and our administration. And I will really quantify it with this. In my almost a dozen years here in Milford, there's two things that Milford always offers, and they've always answered the bell, right? Where I can tell you in the other communities that I've worked, and it doesn't make me feel good to say this, but I am proud of what Milford does. And I don't think I have a lot to do with that. I think that's just the way Milford conducts itself. There's people power and there's financial support. What I have found in my time is that if you can substantiate that something is important for kids in this community, they will answer the call when it comes to people power. They'll donate what's needed for materials. They'll show up at Saturday morning at 6 a.m. or midnight. And if they have to build something, they'll build it. And that's pretty powerful. And if we need financial support, they will write the check. They find a way to get things done when it comes to supporting kids. Other important athletic information that's out there. All of our teams have a community service project, right? They work with our youth teams. We do our best to do that. We have community service. What we've done the last couple of years, we have our spring fling. I really love the support of the boosters. And what we do is it's a one-day cleanup of Milford High School fields, Pheno, Town Park, Woodland, anywhere and everywhere that we practice and play. We try to give back, and we go really work hard that Saturday morning to clean up, and then the boosters feed everybody. We like to support Milford Day as much as we can. Check us out on our athletic website, right? Our tech class takes care of that. That's a great situation. Again, I mentioned Scarlet Hawk of the Week, right? That's the boosters checking in and awarding and recognizing our kids. There's just so much that everybody does. We have our Leadership Academy. I'm super proud of this. This is indigenous and homegrown. We do that every summer. We built that here. We give our captains a minimum of 12 deployable concrete strategies. We do that over 1 or 2 days. We have been recognized by our league, by the MIA, by the state, by New England, and we've actually presented nationally across the country on what we do here for our Leadership Academy. And it's not something that we've really allowed to leave Milford. We didn't build it to sort of give away or sell. It's not about money. We don't get any money for doing this. That's not why we did it. But I'm super thankful to Coach Manini and Coach Colabello. They're always critical in helping me, sort of implement that every year. And we're on Instagram, right? We're not really on Twitter anymore. Good choice. And you can find us on Instagram at HawkNationAD, and I'm working on getting a Facebook set up soon for Milford Athletics. So that's really some of the extra special things that Milford provides, and we're proud to do that. Just a quick picture about some of the things we do. We Coach Lou and Coach Andrew Manini, we believe in experiential learning. So we teach a little bit sort of in the classroom, and then we go out and we play. And in that play, there's learning moments and there's aha moments that we really try to work. Here's the folks that have helped us over the years, and we're super thankful. It takes a little bit of money, a little bit of food, right? Chef Tuttle jumps in and helps us with that. So does Alivas, and there's just all over the geography of Milford. People are helping us do that, and we're really appreciative. A couple more photos of our shows, right? Our Scarlet Hawks of the Week. More shows, right? We're just really proud of that program. And I'm going to turn it over to our head athletic trainer, Ashley Desko.
Hello, everyone. I'm Ashley, the athletic trainer. So what I'm here for is injury prevention, injury evaluation, and treatments. I come in at 1 o'clock every day, and I'm here until all the teams are done for the day. So physicals are valid 13 months to the day from the date they were completed. So if your physical is not within 13 months, then you're going to need a new one in order to try out. And then also sometimes they expire during the season, so you need to keep an eye out for that and turn one in if it is expired. And your coaches have a Google Doc that I've shared with them with all that info. So if you have any questions, you can ask them or come and ask me. You can email them to me at adesko@milfordma.com, or you can hand in a physical copy to me or the athletic office. If you're having trouble getting an appointment, there are urgent cares in the area that will be happy to get you a sports physical. We also have vouchers for free physical at those urgent cares as well. If you need one, I have them in my office, and so does Miss Pinto. Concussions, always report any concussion-like symptoms. So whether that's headache, nausea, difficulty sleeping, feeling off. And it's not just always getting hit in the head that can cause a concussion. It can be a blow to the body that causes that whiplash motion, but it's very important to report concussion symptoms because you are still growing and you're still developing. So it's important to protect your brain. And if we do suspect you have a concussion, I will send you to the doctors to get diagnosed. Once you get diagnosed, you'll send me or hand in a physical copy of the diagnosis from your doctor, a doctor's note. And then once your symptoms resolve, I'll send you back to the doctors to get cleared, and we'll start your gradual return to play protocol, which is basically just increasing exercise over the course of a few days and then monitoring symptoms. Once you complete the gradual return to play protocol, then you're good to go for the rest of the season. And then concussion baseline testing. These are really just for the contact sports. If you did it last year, you do not need to do it this year. You just have to do it every other year. But it's just a baseline test so that if you ever were to have concussion-like symptoms or get hit in the head, I would have you take that test again and we'll compare the results to your baseline. But it's used on a phone, so I'll have you download the Sway Medical app. It's super quick. It's like 15 minutes, but you don't have to worry about it. We'll schedule it before your season starts. Usually right after tryouts is when we do it. But again, if you did it last year, you don't have to do it this year. Hopefully we don't have to worry about COVID, but if you do test positive, the protocol is 5-day quarantine at home, and then followed by 5 days of wearing a mask in school. If you do experience moderate to severe symptoms, we'll have to see if we'll have you complete a return to play protocol, kind of like the concussion return to play protocol, where you just increase physical activity over the course of a few days, and we'll see how you do symptom wise. And we'll just take it slow. But hopefully we don't have to worry about this. And that's it for me. Thanks, guys. Looking forward to a fun winter season.
Okay, thanks, Ashley. We appreciate it. Ashley works hard. We're very, very fortunate to have her on staff. Okay, this is really more of a review. And then I'm going to talk a little bit about some other situations. But again, get on Family ID now. Please don't wait till Sunday night. We get an email that you've registered, and it's really helpful to our coaches to see this as early as possible so they can prepare for tryouts or the first couple of days of practice. And if it's Saturday and we see 35 people signed up, they plan for 35 to 40, and then all of a sudden Sunday night, registrations are swarming in. Then it's 70 student athletes. That makes it difficult to plan. So the sooner you get on, the better. Send your physical to Ashley, please, and her email address will come up at the end of the production a little bit later. No user fees. Thanks so much to the community, our school committee. We're really, really excited to be able to say that we're not charging user fees. That's our administration, our school committee, and the community. And you'll have the email addresses later to be able to check in with the coaches. They have been calling meetings after school so that you could find out when the tryouts were, what the expectations of the program are, what the schedules look like, and then again, certainly practices and the tryouts the first couple of days. Talking a little bit about colleges, right? Moving on, we have always had, right? Again, this goes way back. This is just something that I'm hoping to perpetuate. This goes back to Dick Corbin and all the great athletic directors, Nick Zakili, everybody that's really worked hard, and the coaches way back when, to our legendary coaches and whatnot. But I wanted to mention this because the participation is really important, right? If you take a look at professional athletes, they say that 97% of them were two-sport athletes, right? Multi-sport athletes are tougher, according to college and professional coaches. They're more athletic. And if you look over social media, they want them coming from other sports. If you're a football player, they love to see that you wrestled or you ran track and field or you threw shot put. If you're a basketball player, they're hoping that maybe you ran cross country for endurance, or maybe you played baseball, agility and whatnot, right? Body awareness and stuff like that. So if you're a one-sport athlete, we really are trying to negate what many of the club coaches out there are telling you, because they would love for you to join their out of season situation in those pay situations or fee situations. We want you to be competing year round, and the summer is a great time to work on out of season, and weekends are a great time, but we would love to see people competing in 2 seasons and also being an Iron Hawk in 3 seasons, right? And you can take a look at this. There's so many reasons. Fewer injuries is a big deal, right? If you're playing one sport all year round, you're going to get overusage on certain components of your body. And typically you're seeing injuries that you wouldn't see if you only played in that sport maybe during the season and then over the summer or a little bit on weekends and not, 10, 11, 12 months of the year. So we're really encouraging that. We'd like to see Iron Hawks again, more Iron Hawks, let's put it that way. This is really interesting. Approximately 3 to 5%, and it really is getting closer to 3 to 4% right now of high school athletes make an NCAA team, and that is Division 1, 2, and 3. And I have watched Division 3 become exceptionally competitive over the last 20 years. Right, I went to a Division 3 college where we competed against Division 2 colleges all the time, and incidentally, what I want to share is that Milford consistently is 3 times the national average. Given the amount of seniors that we graduate each year, we should probably have 3 to 5 student athletes making the NCAA ranks. We are always 17, 18, 19, sometimes climbing as high as 24, 25 kids making it into the NCAA. Less than 1% receive scholarships. These are, all of our kids are making rosters. They have, they've been recruited and whatnot, which is fantastic. And I do show the Bridgewater State soccer team over here because there was no less than 5 Milford High School student athletes on that team, and they won the MASCAC, which is a phenomenal accomplishment. And full disclosure, I am a Bridgewater Bear as well, but I love seeing our kids move on to any colleges. But this was so significant to me that so many Milford soccer players had such a heavy hand in this championship, and you have that for the rest of your life, right? So if you are interested, going back to playing in college, if you're interested in playing in the NCAA, you definitely want to reach out to your coach. You may want to check in with me. You want to check in with your guidance counselor. And Coach Dale Olson has been he's our head football coach, and he also works in the district during the day. He is super, super skilled at helping our kids know what they need to do in getting into the NCAA clearinghouse and becoming eligible, and really will help you contact coaches across the country and get you the opportunities that you deserve. So we're excited to help kids move on. One of the things I always say at the end of the presentation, and we are getting close, is that being on an athletic team can be really one of the best experiences of your entire life. And I always give you the real interesting example of, I'm getting older. I'm not old, but I'm getting older, in my 50s. And I have trouble now when people say, hey, who did you have as an English teacher your junior year? Or who was your math teacher senior year? And I don't recollect that as quickly as I used to, but I promise you, if you asked me what time did I run versus Franklin sophomore year, who did I wrestle junior year as I was competing in the Hockomock League, or, I played soccer, and what was the score versus Foxborough, I can recall all of those. And it's just interesting that you will be able to do that, and many of your parents who were, and grandparents and uncles who were, and aunts who were student athletes, I bet they can do the same thing, right? So, but you also have those memories, you have those bus rides, you have those, fantastic victories, those agonizing defeats, those shape you, right? But those are some of your best memories. So we say to folks, look, if you're on one team, come on out, join another team. You're athletic. I bet you could help us. Join a third team. Let's get out there and be an Iron Hawk. But I really, really encourage folks to join as many teams and be involved in as many seasons as you can, because you only have 4 years, right? You have 4 years to compete in high school. And we want you to take advantage of as much as you can. And hopefully you can do that. Again, registration, right? Winter 24-25, familyid.com, digital registration, no user fees this year, thanks to our school committee, administration, and community. Get that updated physical to trainer Ashley, and we'll have you ready to start on Monday. This is a personal theory that I like to share. I shared this as a head coach for 15 years, right? And I really lived this as a student athlete. I was not super genetically gifted. But I believe in the 3 Ds. I love alliteration and I love these theories, right? I I happen to believe that every single student athlete, right, every student walking the halls of Milford High School and every high school in the country can forge themselves into a varsity athlete, right, their mind and their body to improve and get better. If you are dedicated, if you have a destination, that's just a literate way to say goals, right, and you have true, authentic desire, if you want to get better 24/7, 365, 12 months of the year, if you deploy these three situations, you can't just want to win on game day. You can't just show up on December 2nd, having that be your first day of practice. You do not want your first day of practice to be the first day of practice, if that makes sense, right? You should be working out now. You should be conditioning now. You should be practicing now. If you're a spring student athlete, you should be practicing now, right? If you commit to your craft, I believe by latest senior year, that everybody can forge themselves into a varsity player. And I lived it. I believe it. I preach it. I teach it. And that's something I want everybody to really strive towards. This is really important. I did not have this opportunity when I was a student athlete in high school or college, and it's one of the things that I've learned here in Milford. We ask two rhetorical questions. These are questions that you would answer in your mind, right? You don't use words, you use your actions to answer. Number one, what do you want your footprint to be, right? What's your legacy? How do you want to be remembered? I ask the captains of this at every leadership academy. Do you want to be that person that people are clapping and cheering when you graduate? And I say that tongue in cheek because nobody wants to be that person. Or do you want to be that student athlete or that student that graduates and people are just teary-eyed, they're upset, they don't want to let you go because you're just an amazing human being and you work so hard in practice and you contribute in so many different ways, and you're somebody that 10, 12, 15, 20 years later, the coach is saying, remember so-and-so, he or she just brought so much to the table: leadership, hard work, right, grit, determination. So I want kids thinking about that in the middle school. I want our players thinking about that in the middle school and the high school. And my catchphrase is, what do you want folks to say about you at Dick Corbin night? How do you want to be remembered, right? You got to think about that now and build that legacy for yourself, right? Two, I really wish somebody had mentioned this to me, because when you're in high school, when you're in college, you think you're working really hard. Most of our kids are working really hard. But I guess my question would be is, can you give 1% more each day? Can you give 2%? Can you give 3%? I don't think it's fair to say give 10%, give 20%, right? But that's a lot. But on any given day, I think, including myself, right, you can be a better teacher. You can be a better parent. You can be a better driver. You can be a better anything. You can give 1%, 2%, or 3%, a little bit more, right? Maximum effort, super saturate, right? So we're looking to our student athletes, our coaches, myself, just saying, let's give a little bit more. Let's work a little bit harder, and let's try to get to that championship level. So I really encourage people to think that way. Right now in the 21st century, this is a personal and professional belief that I have. I'm on state committees. I'm on league committees. I'm on 2 national committees, right? It's easy to be average right now. And I say to kids and coaches, dare to be great. Milford is not mediocre. It's the first thing that I learned a dozen years ago. It's one of the reasons I applied for the job. Milford is not mediocre. Milford is about championship expectations, championship behavior. And what I say to kids is, you know what? Dare to be great. You don't want to just be a starter on your team. You just don't want to be, hey, I'm the starting right fullback, or I'm the starting wing person, or we want to be when you get to that level, when you're starting, right, you want to be the best in your division in the Hockomock League, right? I want to be the best center. I want to be the best goalie. I want to be the best quarterback. And then you want to be the best in the entire league. And then you work to be the best in your region, right? All-star status. Keep looking forward, keep pressing forward, because somebody out there is always working a little bit harder. And it's really important to press forward. Those are real life skills, right? You go to a job interview, you're competing for a job. Every day you go to work, you're competing for productivity. So we want our kids competing, and we want to be productive, and we want championship expectations. So we say, dare to be great. Our fans, we have such a tremendous advantage. And I can tell you that the Hockomock League really, really admires what we do, right? We pack our stands. We're appropriate. We have a certain set of core values, right? We don't say inappropriate things. We don't yell out names and numbers. We chant things that are appropriate, but our kids come out, our kids and our fans and our alumni, and the league has adopted a lot of what we do. And I think the MIA is looking at what we do and how we conduct ourselves, and why is it some other schools and other districts can't behave as well as we do, because it's about expectations and it's about accountability. We're proud of who we are, and that's not just the product on the field, the court, or the grass or in the pool or in the wrestling room or any of those situations. It's how we behave in the stands too. We want to make sure that we are very, very professional. And with that, I also want to mention, right, there's a quick update to you. There's a national shortage of officials in every single sport. Sometimes we have to move games because we can't get refs, and it's got nothing to do with me. We have an assigner in the league for every sport. There just aren't people that want to do this anymore. And if you take a second to read this, two parents watching, the basketball game. I just put that up there as an example. These two parents were talking, true story, and hey, blah, 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 blah. And it really comes down to that every referee is somebody's kid, somebody's uncle, somebody's aunt, somebody's parent, maybe. Treat them with respect. You probably wouldn't say some of the things that you would say to you wouldn't say to what you say to the ref in a grocery store or something like that. And I can tell you, in Milford, we do a really good job. Right? Every once in a while, a ref makes a really bad call. But I always say to people, I say to the kids, I say to the coaches, when have you seen a high school official change their call? It doesn't happen. So let the coach make a quick statement and then leave it alone. Because if you ride the refs, you're not going to get some calls the rest of the game, meet or match. And I really believe in that. So let's be professional. Give them a break. They're human. They're going to make mistakes. But let's move on with the game and let's be respectful. We appreciate the fans doing that too. Finally, right, this is my my mantra the last couple of years. Culture and standards are everything. We really, really encourage our coaches, our captains, and our student athletes, right, to perpetuate and create and perpetuate the culture that you want, right? You need to be able to articulate that as the coaches and the players on the team. There's traditions that we have. I can tell you right now, the alumni games that we have, nobody does what we do. Nobody in the area, nobody in the state has the level of alumni games that we have here in Milford. I think it's one of the most special things that we do. And that's just one component, right? Standards, culture. How do you practice every day? Every day should be 105%. I don't care if it's the day before a game, day before a meet, day before a match. To me, there is no pre-meet, pre-game, nice and easy, unless it's the end of the season and we're competing for a championship. You got to practice through games, meets, and matches, right? You got to come to every single practice ready to rock and roll, right? Practice hard to win easy. You don't win games, meets, and matches on game day. You win them in practice, days, weeks, months, and sometimes years in advance, right? That's culture. That's setting a standard of expectation and accountability that we all should be living up to wearing the red and white. Our coaches do a great job expecting it. The vast majority of our student athletes live up to that. We want 100%. We want 100% efficacy. So you should be thinking about our culture and our standards moving forward, right? Today, tomorrow, yesterday even, and how can we do better? Okay, we're getting close to the end here, folks. We're looking forward to more and more success in the Hockomock League, in the state, in our division. Best of luck this season. Lori Pinto, our admin assistant, myself, Ashley, we kind of live here, right? This is not a job. This is a lifestyle. We know that. We embrace that. We're here to help. We're here to support. We are here to relentlessly pursue excellence, and we want to encourage you to do the same. Our coaches, our players, for sure, right? Our alumni, our fans, come out and watch us. And I'm going to leave you with this slide so that you can see who our coaches are. These are their email addresses. If you have any questions, check in with them. Under Unified Bocce and Strength and Conditioning, you have my email address. Check in with me, please, and I'll put you in touch with who you need to. But again, Milford is not mediocre. Milford is about championship expectations, so Milford presses forward. Good luck. Have a great winter season, and if you need anything, please check in. But at the most, come out, work hard, and practice, plan, play to win, and come out and watch us. We got some really great products that we're going to put out this winter, and we're looking forward to seeing everybody.